Hello, hello. Is that working? That's working. Okay, that's cool. We'll figure it out one day. Nito Petito. Well, hey, good morning, guys. There we go. Welcome to some online yoga this morning. Look, we got some beautiful sunshine happening, making a little hot yoga for me in this room, but it's really nice, really good. Okay, what am I doing? This. There we go. Put that there. Keep track of things. Get all the good things going. So Wednesday is today, or flow day, most importantly. So if you're joining in, we'll have a gentle-ish style flow class where we'll take a bit of movements. For me, my flow classes just mean we'll get a few of those little vinyasas in those almost sun salutations, but totally optional. You do not have to take them. You can simply just hang out in a downward dog, child's pose. So don't let that intimidate you. I do try to hit this up for all levels. So if you have a hard time getting up and down off the ground, great, don't worry about it. So we'll do them later on after we do some time on our backs, doing some reclined positions, getting a nice warm up in. We'll do some seated, we'll do a little all fours, and then we make our way up to standing and do some balance work and standing postures and all those fun sequences that happen. So that's the plan for today. That's what I got planned and going on, or an overview, and that's kind of always what it looks like. So let's join on in. Starting to get comfy. If you've got a yoga mat, roll it on out if you haven't done so already. Maybe brush the dog fur off of it, or the little crummies that always seem to collect on it. Your choice to start seated or laying down. We will roll on down onto our backs, but if you'd rather start seated, that's a really great option. So both are good. Or if you want to start standing, also an option, or even seated on a chair or a stool, or sitting down on the ground, or even sitting cross-legged doesn't work. Like, feel free to pick and choose how you want to sit. There's no expectation that you hang out in full lotus like a Zen little Buddha, unless that is really what you want to do and what your body allows you to do. Because sometimes what we want, our body doesn't necessarily allow. So practice is a great cue there. And being diligent, yes. So let's get started here. Joining in, I am also planning on making this a little bit of a quicker yoga session, so not the full 1 hour shenanigans that I usually like to get into to provide a free class, but sometimes you don't have a full hour, so I like to add a little variety because I post these on my YouTube page afterwards. So you can go back and rewatch any of them, and if you don't quite have a full hour, okay, this class, perfect for you. We will try to have it be a little bit quicker, but we'll see. What's the goal? See how it turns out. All right, well, let's get into that space. Hopefully you found that starting position you want to get into, and as you are joining in, oh, hey, good morning, Donna. My phone tells me you're watching. That's cool. Okay. Let's start to get into that space where we can sense into the body, where we can start to feel the feels, becoming aware of things right off the bat. How does the body feel this morning or whenever you're doing this? Yeah, hey, good morning, got your comment, yay. Do you have any of those specific areas of tension? How do the hips feel? If you did the hips class yesterday, maybe you still have some openness there, or maybe you have a little tenderness there, depending on really how hard you worked or how open your hips are, and maybe what you do throughout the day. How does the neck and the shoulders feel? Maybe you slept weird on your pillow or didn't get a good night's sleep and you're feeling a little stiff. Just start to notice. So often we don't actually take time to check in with ourselves. Either we're so concerned on how everyone else is doing and checking in there, and we're always last to check in with ourselves, or we're just so busy and we don't just take the time to see how we're doing, or we don't think we're important enough for that check-in. Well, here I'm telling you, you are important enough. You are worth seeing how you're doing, so that we can take some movement that is appropriate for you today, not yesterday, not how you're doing later today. We're in this moment what do you need? And so that's the whole point of this pre-little scan, this pre-little Shavasana to our yoga class is all about that check-in and starting to get a little bit stronger in that awareness, so that as we start to move and groove and flow, you can just be fully aware of, oh yeah, no, I am tired, so I'm not going to lift my arms fully up. It's okay to have them a little bit more saggy, that's fine. Or relaxed, it's a nicer word than saggy. So, sorry, got a little frog in my throat. Feeling that nice sensing in there. And then let's also connect in with the breath. Starting to take that nice big inhale breath. And starting to fill the lungs a little bit more, maybe even starting to engage on that rib cage expanding, as well as into the diaphragm, just using the whole body, the whole torso really to breathe. And on that exhale, maybe you start to let things go, you explore a little bit of softening. That exhale is really crucial and important for allergy season. We found it. That exhale is really important for the letting go, that adding relaxation. Even if you take that audible exhale, take an exhale where you sigh it out, that notice how the body just starts to simmer right down. Hearing that audible exhale, even if it's not your own, or you can influence others by taking that big exhale. Because as you hear it, the brain it's a trigger for the brain for, okay, no, we need to start to relax. You'll roll your shoulders back and down, or they'll start to work their way down. The body will just start to let go. So let's go ahead and take another couple of breaths here, just really feeling that nice connection. Breathing in, feeling how maybe you get a little bit taller. Exhaling. Feeling that softness, the body pulls back together. Maybe you're ready to set an intention for our time together, your class today. What brings you to your mat? What are you hoping to get out of this time frame? How can you help it feel really good? What word or phrase would ring true for you today? Starting to bring that in. Let's take another nice inhale breath, breathing in nice and big. Exhaling, letting it go. Let's start to wake up the body, taking a little wiggle into fingers and toes, maybe rolling wrists and ankles, or if you're seated, maybe getting into the neck a little bit, just rocking the head from side to side, your choice. Explore a little movement that would feel really good for you today. Excellent. And if you're in seated, let's roll ourselves back on down into a nice reclined position. So good. Rolling the shoulders back and down. Nice little tuck of the chin. Start to feel that spine connecting in with the floor. Let's take that good morning stretch, starting to get a little stretchy. Waking up and moving through that fascia, that connective tissue. Reaching the arms up overhead, reaching so tall you can feel it not just through the arms, but through the fingertips, through the underarms, through the ribs, expanding so big. And exhale, let the arms just hang heavy, just simply drop them down. Let's take another one of those big inhale, good morning stretches, breathing in. If you want a little more, maybe you kick the legs out. If you haven't already, pointing through the toes, feeling all of that length through the body. It's okay if that low back is arching off. It's really normal in this kind of position here. So just keep reaching, keep lengthening, and exhale. Relax through the body. And start to hug the knees into the chest here. Notice how you draw the knees in. That low back is now pressing in towards the mat, having that nice little engagement through the spine. Take that gentle rock from side to side. Oh, so good. I think I just desperately need a massage. We've been in quarantine for who knows how long. It's got to be close to 100 days. Things close down. I look forward to the day and I can go and get a delightful massage. But for now, we'll just do the little self-love, little self-care, rolling from side to side, waking up the back, getting into some of the sensations back there. Maybe you notice this in through the hips, maybe through the shoulders, maybe even all along the vertebrae. Those two muscles that run kind of alongside the spine are some of my very favorite to give some TLC to. And that's why I love bridge pose, and even here, in this tiny little ball, bring the head and the shoulders up. I don't particularly love the hugging everything in. I love the release though, so as you roll back down, feel that nice massage over the shoulders and over the spine. Oh, that's where the money's at. I'm going to take another one of those. I'm using the exhale to bring me up, rolling in. Maybe you're hugging onto the knees, coming into that tiny little ball, and then releasing, coming back down. So good. Let's bring those knees to a little, just nice little hover over the hips, starting to feel that engagement. Notice, is that spine really arching in the low back? And so we want to try to counter that. So maybe you even touch the feet down, feel that little tuck of the pelvis. That can happen there. Pull the belly button in towards the spine, pressing that low back in, and then float the legs up. So see how you have that engagement. We're not pressing the belly outwards to help stabilize. We're pulling the belly inwards. We're nice and strong through the abdomen. So good. Let's bring those arms up overhead. Just reaching up nice and tall, and then interlacing the hands, bringing them behind the head. So good. Holding the head up ever so slightly. Feel how now we're getting into those center abdominals, some of those upper abdominals. And if you want a little more, you're bringing your shoulders up as well. So your choice just to have the head and the neck up, or to get into the tops of the shoulders. So it's all about that center and lower spine pressing in towards the mat to help stabilize. Trying to be gentle on the neck, not overly pressing. If you naturally really extend the chin forward, maybe bring fingertips just to the sides of the ears. It means your neck has to work harder. You holding the full weight of the head. So just being mindful of how you want to work here, trying to protect that neck, maybe strengthen through that neck, but not overwork it. So just find that sweet spot. That's all I'm trying to imply here. If we can relax the elbows, letting them open out, just kind of like that nice boss arms, feel that little bit of a stretch. So maybe just right here, you're already feeling it. You're already working really hard. Keep drawing that belly button in, keep stabilizing nice and strong. If you want a little more, we're going to start to add a little bit of movement in. And so we're going to just kind of kick the leg out a little bit and then bringing it in. Switching to the other leg. So just like a tiny, almost like a little bicycle movement, or just a back and forth. You're welcome to just keep the shins parallel with the ground. Or lots of people just kind of naturally start to make circles with the ankles here. So really it doesn't matter. Totally your choice on however you want to take that movement. This is starting to get into the hip flexors now. So we've got our core working, we're getting our hip flexors working. With that little movement drawing away, we're getting those lower abdominals nice and engaged. And keep kind of pressing that spine in nice and strong. Keep extending the crown of the head nice and long, being mindful of that neck. Now if you want a little more here, this is when we can start to add some arm movement in as well. So you can add that little bit of extra crunch into this, so kind of coming into those little elbow taps. So here we go. This is what's happening. Your choice to still keep the knees not extending super long. If you want even more still, then you're finding that full extension, that full leg through the legs. That's really working those lower abdominals to push the leg out and pull the leg back in and stabilize. You're working into your obliques, bringing elbow across the body, working into those upper abdominals, still trying to keep that head and shoulder back up. So good. Let's just take a few more here. We'll keep this nice and gentle. We're getting all of our core work done in one nice little movement here. These little bicycle crunches kind of do it all. So good. Let's take one more either side. Come back to this nice neutral. Let's lower the head out, yet we're coming out nice and slow. We're not just popping out of this. So releasing, bring those hands alongside the body. Maybe even press the hands in and keep pulling that low back in towards the mat. Are you feeling it on your hip flexors yet? Maybe you start to add a little kick to the feet. Nice little flutter. Just for funsies, really, there's no specific purpose to this. Excellent. Let's drop the feet down, other than adding more time into those hip flexors to squeeze those legs up. You can windshield viper the knees from side to side. Hey, Doreen, you made it. You're late. That's okay. It's all good. You missed it. I said that today's my quicker one. I've got a really full day of random stuff ahead of me. I dropped my car off at the shop. I made an oil change this morning. Got a nice little courtesy car because I'm not shuttling people home. And then I've just got, random stuff to do today. So, need a head start. I've got time frames to work with. All right, that's fine. Our stillness core is nice and warmed up. We gotta warm up a little bit through the shoulders. So instead of just doing the seated and lifting the arms up, one thing I really like here is to bring your hands down by the hips, flip your palms facing upwards. See if you can relax through the shoulders. Have that slight tuck of the chin, extending the head really long. Take a nice big inhale breath. Exhale, press into the feet slightly just to have that nice core engagement. So we're not lifting the hips up here. We're just kind of hanging out with that little bit of extra tension in through the feet. So I can almost slide my hands under my sits bones, but not quite. There's still just that nice tuck is happening. So I have palms facing up, and then almost like you're doing jumping jacks. Let's inhale, reach those arms up, but try to keep the arms planted in towards the ground. So at some point, an elbow or a wrist might want to start to float off, especially if you're trying to do this straight arm all the way. You'll reach kind of that Y in the YMCA position, probably before the elbows or the shoulders need to start to lift off a little bit. It's okay if they start to lift. That's A-okay. Reach the arms all the way up overhead. And then on that exhale, start to bring those hands back down alongside the body. So we're working here in the shoulder. We don't have gravity and the weight of the arms to deal with. So we can really focus in on the angle of stuff happening in the shoulder as we start to lift our arms up. So feeling all those little adjustments that you need to take to keep that arm pressing down and pressing in. And shoulders are kind of like hips. Everyone, I think the little shoulder socket has like those femur or that femoral head is shaped a little bit differently. Our range of motion can be different based on our tension in our shoulders. Maybe that's where you hold a lot of your tension as well. For women, lots of times it's right along that bra line. And you can actually, as you start to lift your arms up, you can feel that, like our connective tissue comes all the way through the rib cage, and how we hold our core here matters for how we can lift our arms up. So maybe you're feeling that little tension kind of going down into the side body. Just feeling how the body is connected. Keep on working with it, lifting the arms up. Overhead, maybe you take that extra moment to reach nice and tall. Bring the arms back alongside the body. Taking a little moment here. Maybe wiggling into the shoulders. A little wiggle will give those shoulder blades a nice little massage. Imagine just doing some shoulder circles through there. We have that floor kind of quote unquote in the way, but that's where the massage comes from. And then let's bring palms facing down. Start to just reach those arms up. You'll kind of reach to that T position, and then just keep seeing how high you can bring the hands or the arms with the palms facing down. So it's definitely not as high with palms facing up, and lifting the hands really doesn't add any extra benefit, but just that now we have internal rotation in at the shoulders. So take a little moment when you feel like you're at your max and kind of grip the fingers in towards the floor, trying to find that extra little bit of length. You're really reaching out. You're probably feeling this like kind of through the underarm, but like the back part of the underarm, right in where it would connect in to some of those back muscles. Keep reaching, keep trying to rotate those shoulders down or in that inward rotation movement, and keep pressing into the feet, keep pressing that low back in towards the mat, just feeling the whole body be nice and active here. It doesn't really look like we're working on much, but if you're drawing your belly in, if you've got that nice tuck in the chin, if you're reaching through the arms and pressing gently into the feet so the legs are activated, we're kind of getting whole body activation here. So kind of cool. We're working with that connective tissue as well as we press the feet in. Everything is helping stabilize and support each other. Keep trying to now press those palms in towards the floor. Maybe the elbows lift up off the ground. Keep reaching, and then exhale, just relax the whole body. Let's bring the palms facing upwards. And bring the hands in a little bit closer towards the body. You're kind of bringing them down. Just taking that little moment to fully relax. Kind of a neat trick here. Feels kind of cool. Not an official yoga move, but it's a great move for just for the body and for that connective tissue. So good. Let's take another inhale breath, start to lengthen. Exhale, feel that nice engagement, start to press into the feet a little bit more. Let's just take a gentle press into the feet so that the hips come up. I have just enough to kind of get a fist in underneath there, so I'm not pressing up super high. We're just engaging through the legs. Be mindful of the knees. Are they splaying open? Are they drawing inward? Just nice little engagement here. Let's press up a little higher. I'm starting to feel a little more engagement. Press the shoulder blades down, but try not to wiggle the head around too much. Let's keep that neck nice and solid. Excellent. Maybe you start to feel some openness or some activation through the quads. Maybe you start to squeeze those glutes in a little bit, feeling a little more activation. Let's come up just a touch higher. Pressing into the feet, pressing into the shoulders. Feeling everything. Maybe you're starting to find that edge. Or if you're able to come up a little higher, nice and strong, kind of playing around with that max. You could maybe get another millimeter or two, but you can't quite get any more inches. So good. Keep pressing so strong. Yeah, we're still holding here. Take a nice inhale breath, remembering to breathe. Exhale, feel that engagement come in. Maybe you squeeze those glutes a little extra. Maybe you push or stomp into the feet a little more. So nice. Keep holding. One more nice breath here. Are the knees still in line, or are they starting to open up? Just noticing all of that. And now let's roll down nice and slow, one vertebrae at a time. Give yourself that nice massage across the spine. Excellent. And some nice cracks and pops come out there. If you did too, that's totally normal. Just some air in the joints and the spine here. Let's hug the knees in. Just take a nice little counter to that back bend of the bridge pose. And then we're going to make our way up to a nice seated position. So however you want to get there, if you want to roll onto your favorite side and then press yourself up, great option. Or if you want to start to rock and roll back and forth, giving that spine a little more massage, using some momentum to bring yourself all the way up. So good. Hey Tammy, if you're watching, if you're joining in this morning or just checking it out, seeing what's happening today, my phone says you're watching. So I'm saying hi. So good. All right, finding that nice seated position. It doesn't have to be cross-legged. You can extend the legs long. It'll work the back muscles a little bit more, getting into some of those postural muscles. Let's take that inhale breath and lengthen. Exhale, roll those shoulders back and down. Inhale, breath. Let's just sweep the arms up. We'll just take, we'll take 3 of these. Exhale, little hand to heart. Inhale, reaching it up. So now we're fighting gravity as we reach the arms up, and maybe those shoulders have a little more openness to them. Last one, let's reach up, but we'll hold with the arms reaching up here. Maybe you interlace the fingers and flip the palms upwards. Or find any variation of interlacing the hands that you like. I actually, I'm not going to use the word hate. I dislike strongly this one. I'd rather just hold my wrist or one of my wrists. So I'm still getting that rotation of the shoulders, still reaching my arms up, but I'm not expecting my fingers to stay interlaced. All right, let's tip over towards the left. Reaching, getting a nice little side bend, giving those obliques a nice little stretch. Let's come all the way back up, reaching nice and tall, noticing where those ribs at. Are they really puffing out? Can you draw them in? Let's go towards the right. Reaching. So nice. Let's come on back up. Beautiful. Let's take one more towards the left. So good. Feeling that openness. Maybe the gaze goes upwards to roll that shoulder open. Using that core so strong. Keep drawing that belly button inwards. And let's come on back up. Reaching up nice and tall and over towards the other side. Feeling that nice engagement. Gaze goes up. Open up through that top shoulder. Reach a little farther. Come on back up. Let's bring the hands forward, coming into your little bow or forward fold. So even if you just tuck the chin, that works as a nice bow, or as you start to walk your hands down. I love a little seated forward fold. I think it feels really good on the hips, feels good on the low back. I seem to want to sway this morning. Maybe I'm just fidgety, but it actually also feels good too. This actually is what feels good on the low back for me, is this nice little movement from side to side. So if you naturally add in movement somewhere, just notice it. I think that's wonderful. Feels really good. You're welcome to be creative like that. I swear that's how some transitions come into existence, or even some poses, is just through playfulness and trying out different things. All right, I'm going to try to settle in just to a touch of stillness. Taking a big inhale, a nice full exhale, a little tuck of the chin, relax through the neck, and start to walk those hands back up. Coming all the way up. Let's switch through the feet, opposite foot in front or on top. Finding that. Beautiful. Let's take that inhale, get nice and tall. Exhale, roll those shoulders back and down. Oh, that felt really good. Let's inhale, reach the arms up. Reaching up nice and tall. Can you lift through the heart? And can you extend the collarbone up? I'm coming now into steeple with my fingers, palms together, fingers interlaced, but pointer finger reaching up, kind of like a nice dial. It keeps reminding you to keep finding that length, straightening a little bit through the arms, maybe even squeezing the ears or the side of the head. And with all of that length you're creating. Beautiful. And just simply reaching up here, working on that length to draw that belly button in. Excellent. Let's exhale, keeping your hands interlaced, bringing the hands all the way down. Great from here, keeping the hands interlaced, let's reach on back up. Nice inhale, and taking that exhale, pulling the hands down. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, draw the hands down. Notice which thumb is in front or on top. And let's switch the grip on the fingers. So let it feel like that really awkward handshake. You can still come to steeple here. It might actually even feel challenging. Just a little brain yoga, working with that sensation. Maybe squeeze through the fingers a little bit. Let's inhale and start to reach it up. Exhale, draw the hands back in. Just taking two more, reaching up. Trying to do a little more on the shoulders today. I do lots for hips and legs, kind of every class, but I don't want to ever forget about the arms. And keeping mobility and strength through the arms and the shoulders is really handy. I think I got chatty and we didn't just do three, sorry. Hands to heart center. Beautiful. Let's release the grip and just bring palm towards palm, aligning each finger with the one on the opposite hand. Nice little hands at heart center in prayer. Get a little bit taller. Let's add a little twist in here. Twisting towards the left, just using those core muscles and feeling that nice squeeze from the middle. Press into the legs. Keep that rotation going. Let's drop those hands down, pressing in to get taller first, and then exhaling, pressing to get a little bit deeper. Maybe the gaze goes over that back shoulder. Nice. Just a nice little twist. Let's release. And come on back towards center. Taking that moment, aligning through the spine. Bring the hands to heart center. Take that inhale breath and lengthen. Use that exhale to start to engage and twist. Rotating around, pressing into those legs, just feeling that natural rotation through the spine, through that core. And let's drop the hands down. Let's inhale, get nice and tall. Exhale, twist a little deeper. Maybe gaze goes over that back shoulder. Remembering to breathe, letting it feel good. Holding here for another moment. Look at that. Time is flying today, I feel like. Let's release. Come on back towards center. Take a nice inhale breath. Exhale. Start to add that bow forward. Adjusting it your hands as you want. Maybe you just want your hands to hang out on your knees. You can tuck the elbows in close to the ribs as you just bow, letting the weight of the torso bring you forward. Or you can always plant those hands, reaching forward. You like the little reach forward because you can add that little pull in, adding a nice little stretch, adding a little more sensation into the hip. Beautiful. Nice inhale. Full little exhale. Start to press into those hands. Come on back up. So good. Let's start to move into our all fours position. So coming into that nice tabletop. Pressing the hands and the knees down. Toes can be tucked or untucked. It really doesn't change anything. I naturally just keep my toes tucked here. I have no idea why. I just do it. Some people bring them flat. And so just building that awareness. I think because flat, my one ankle is kind of a little wonky. I've got some weird tension through my Achilles and into my foot and my calf. So bringing it tucked, I get a little stretch there. So just maybe playing around with that. Maybe you want to do the opposite of whatever you normally do. Let's take that inhale breath, dropping the belly down, extending the head nice and tall and long. Exhale, starting around through the spine, pressing those shoulders up. Inhaling. So good. Coming to neutral. So nice. And instead of playing around in our all fours position for a long time here, let's just start to work our way into a downward dog. So adjusting your stance however you need to. I like a little bit more space, so I like to walk my hands forward. I tuck those toes under and I really start to press into my hands, into my toes. Knees start to hover and hips go up. Maybe you're hanging out like this with the shoulders close to the wrist. See if you can maybe bend through the knees and extend long through the hands, through the spine. Bring those arms close by the ears, nice tuck of the chin. And then from there, you can work on straightening through the legs. Maybe even pedal out the feet. Who knows? Let it feel good. Excellent. Let's look towards the top of the mat. Take a hop, step, or jump, or maybe a couple little steps into a nice little forward fold. Letting the head hang heavy, torso hangs heavy. You can have a gentle bend into the knees. And starting to wake up that back line of the legs. Take a nice inhale breath. Exhale. Release. Take that nice inhale. Let's come up halfway. Planting the hands just above the knees. Roll those shoulders back and down. Extend the head nice and long. Bend the knees, sink the hips. Ooh, hello, little chair pose. Option to hang out here. Bring the hands at heart center. Or reach those arms up overhead. Take that inhale, get a little taller. Draw that belly button in, activating into that low back. Exhale. Sink a little deeper. Keep reaching those arms up. If you're reaching up, or you can bring them down to heart center and pressing into those legs, reaching up nice and tall. Exhale. Hands to heart. So good. letting it feel really nice, really good. And let's bring awareness into the feet, squeezing through the toes a little bit. Starting to dial the knees outwards. So imagine the knees just as a little dial, and you just kind of spin them out. Feel how that activates the sidelines of the legs. You're kind of pressing them out, having that little bit of resistance. Core is nice and strong. Roll those shoulders back and down. Have openness through the heart. Shift the weight into that left leg. And the right foot maybe starts to come up. Maybe you just have a toe down. Or maybe you work on that balance, bringing the knee all the way up. Simply holding out here. And just come to that nice little balance. If you want a little more, you can work on extending that leg. Being nice and strong through that standing leg. Beautiful. So good. Keep working on it. Odds are that right hip just popped up. So see if you can roll over it back down. Let's bring a bend back to that knee. And we're going to step that foot all the way back. So working nice and slow on this transition. Just almost like you're moving through sand, dropping that foot down, making your way into a warrior one. So the entire foot comes down. Hips are still square towards the front, so roll that left hip back. Add a nice little bend to the leg. That left knee bends. Hands can hang out on the hips. If you need to keep work on squaring them forward, you'll kind of find that sweet spot where you start to get some nice stretch through the hip flexors, maybe even through the quad. As you're pressing into that back foot, leg is nice and strong. Maybe you start to press into that left foot, and that's where you find that little control through the hips, through the pelvis. Maybe start to swing those arms up. Beautiful warrior one pose. And you're reaching it nice and tall. But notice, are those ribs just kind of puffing out? This is kind of how you're hanging out. Let's see if we can add some strength into that, pulling the belly button in, activating into those back muscles, and arms reaching up, opposed to reaching back. So bring that awareness that'll help straighten out through the spine. Excellent. Let's bring those hands down, interlacing them behind you. So start to sweep them back. Pull the hands down, lift through the heart. Take a nice inhale breath. On that exhale, start to straighten through that front leg. Keep rolling left hip back and take that nice little bow forwards. And coming into your nice little pyramid pose. Being aware of the feet, staying nice and active through the legs here. So maybe just have a gentle little bow. And this is where you hang out. This is lots of pull on that left hamstring. Through that back line of the left leg, which is probably still warming up. And as you start to find some openness, maybe you bow a little forward a little bit more, but keep those shoulders rolling back and down. Nice flat back here. So it's not about bringing the nose to your knee. It's about extending the head nice and long and creating those beautiful lines of length. And then as those hips open up, as that hamstrings opens up, finding a little more depth. Lots of times to find more depth, we roll that right hip open because that'll allow you that space to drop down a little farther. And so let's keep squaring those hips forward. I cue it because I'm guilty of it. So if you did it too, we're in it together. Excellent. Odds are, as you square those hips forward, you might have added some more intensity. So if you need to come back up, listening to your body. All right, let's add a bend to that left knee, pressing into the feet. Let's start to come on back up. We can release the hands, maybe sweep them all the way up, either coming out to the side or reaching them up and forward. Totally your choice. Just whatever works best for your shoulders or whatever you naturally wanted to do. Excellent. So strong. Finding that strength here. Beautiful. Let's exhale. Release the hands. And we're going to try to come out of this the same way we came into it. So nice and slow and with control as we step back towards the front of the mat, trying to keep that right leg lifted. And so I'm going to start by heel toeing that back foot in a little bit closer. I have just a gentle bend to the knee, so it's not locked and straight, but it's no longer in that lunge position. I'm going to start to shift my weight towards my left foot. Arms can help you stabilize. I kind of like to reach them forward, coming up onto those back tippy toes. Floating the leg up, bringing the leg in nice and slowly, coming to standing. You can hang out with knee towards knee, Or you can start to bring that right knee back up. Take a moment, see if you can square those hips or level those hips with the ground. So that right hip isn't hanging out super high. Beautiful. And then let's step that right foot down. You can pedal out the feet if that feels good. Taking a little moment. Excellent. Inhale, reaching it up nice and tall. Getting ready. Exhale, forward fold. To either hang out in downward dog, or if you want a little child's pose, or option to hang out here, either your half lift or your full forward fold. Maybe you notice the difference between the legs. And let's inhale, bring it up halfway, nice and strong and long through the back. Bend the knees, you can plant the hands down, take that step back if you want it, into your downward dog. You can drop the knees here for that child's pose, or we can take 2 flows, because I always take 2, so why not keep that tradition. Coming to your plank position, you can drop the knees down. Exhale, lower the body down. Take a nice little back bend. Hug the elbows in nice and close towards the ribs. And extend the head nice and tall and long. Pressing into those hands, finding that strength. Coming maybe through that little tabletop, or even pressing into a little child's pose here is a great way to set your arms and your back for that nice downward dog. And so pressing into the hands, pressing into the toes, lifting the knees, straightening through the legs, finding your downward dog. So good. Let's take that other flow. Coming to plank, lowering down nice and strong. And take your little back bend. A little option for baby cobra. You can bring the feet wide. Maybe you can add a bend to the knees for your little baby king cobra. Whatever you want. Let's press out nice and strong. Coming in to that downward dog, really however you want to get there. If you're in your child's pose, working your way back up to the downward dog. Looking towards the front of the mat. Hop, step, jump, or tiptoe into a nice forward fold. I don't know why it's hop, step, jump. I feel like hop is the same as a jump. But that's the cueing that I know. It's like ingrained in my head. I can't really say it any other way. Beautiful. All right, let's inhale, halfway lift. Bring those hands above the knees, roll those shoulders back and down, extend the head nice and long. Exhale, bend the knees, sink the hips. Hanging out in your chair pose, maybe you hang out here, getting a little more into the shoulders, into the back, but pull that belly button in, activating into the low back. Maybe hands come to heart. Maybe you reach those arms up. You can add a little length to really pull it in. Exhale, you sink maybe a little deeper. And pressing in here, and remembering to breathe. Finding that strength, using those leg muscles so strong through the thighs. And keep holding and pressing all the way up to standing. Reach it up nice and tall. Exhale, hands to heart center. Beautiful. Hanging out here. Squeezing into the toes a little bit. Building that awareness of the feet is a great way to stabilize as we get ready to work on some balance. Just kind of the squeezing of the toes tells the brain and works on that connection between the feet and the brain. And let's shift our weight into that right foot, standing still nice and tall and strong. Left toes, so left foot starts to come up. Maybe you just hang up on the toes. Maybe the knee comes all the way up, or anywhere there in between. Finding that strength through that right standing leg. And maybe if you want a little more, you start to extend. Toes forward, kicking the foot out. So nice and strong, using all those hip flexors we've been working on the last number of weeks. So good. Keep holding, one more full breath. Add a bend back to that knee. And then really strong, we're gonna start to come and step our foot back. We're going so slow. It's like we're one of those little time machines. Watching it in slow motion, kind of bow it down, work on touching that toe back, landing the foot, and coming into that nice warrior one position. Adjust your feet as you need to. You might not have landed that foot perfectly. Bring the hands onto the hips. Start to roll right hip back. Left hip forward. Drawing belly button in, relax through the shoulders. Pressing into that back foot. Finding that sweet spot on that back leg. Maybe you have a little bend to your knee. Maybe your leg is really straight. Adding a nice bend to that right leg. Nice little lunge position. Still working on those thighs. Still working on all that strength there. And let's start to reach our arms up. Taking that nice big inhale. Reach up nice and tall and strong. Exhale, engage through that core. Keep pressing into the legs. Finding all of that strength. So good. Keep holding here. Take one more nice big inhale. And on that exhale, let's bring those hands interlacing them maybe the opposite way. So feel that awkward handshake again. Actively pull the hands down. Lift through the heart. Take that nice inhale breath. On the exhale, start to straighten through that front leg. And add that nice little bow. So pressing firm into the legs. Keep rolling right hip back. And finding your preferred depth. I'm taking it really gentle today. Just because I want to. You don't always have to go for the gusto. Beautiful. Nice inhale. And an exhale. See, I thought this would be a shorter one, but then I just get so excited about yoga and I keep going and I keep going. It's good though. I love it. Beautiful. Maybe find a little more length through the crown of the head. And see if you can really lengthen here. Keep pressing into that right foot to roll that right hip back. Pressing into the entirety of the left foot. Beautiful. Let's add a nice bend through that right leg, coming out nice and safe. And starting to come all the way up. You can release through the hands. Inhale, reaching those arms up. Finding that length. And exhale, letting it go. And coming out the way we came in with that nice slow float up towards standing. So you can heel toe that back foot in. You can start to shift your weight towards that front foot. Maybe you're coming up onto those back toes. Maybe start to straighten through the leg. However you want to use your arms to help float the leg up. Keep rolling that left hip down though. Working your way up to standing. Oh, so slowly. Feel all that control. Bringing that knee forward. And just simply holding here. If you brought the knee up, odds are that left hip is floating up. See if you can square and level the hips down. Beautiful. Hanging out here. So strong through that right standing leg. Find a little more length. And exhale nice and slowly. And plant that left foot down. Excellent. And let's inhale, reach it up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach it up nice and tall. Exhale, coming into your forward fold, bowing it down. Playing around here. Maybe you bend through your knees. Excellent. Taking a full inhale breath. Exhale. See if you can soften, let the torso hang heavy. Maybe even the arms move around a little. Beautiful. All right, let's take our last flow of the class. Let's take that inhale, a little halfway lift, finding just a little length. Exhale, bending through the knees, planting those hands down. Take that big step back in towards your downward dog. You don't have to float. You can just down dog it or child's pose it. And taking that flow, lowering down. Try not to smack right on the table. And take your back bend. Maybe you want to come up a little higher. Totally your choice. And pushing back. Take that downward dog. Beautiful, nice, full inhale. Then an exhale. If you want that second flow, you can move through it. Hear that scratching? That's my dog crawling under a table. Beautiful. Excellent. coming through and making your way all the way into just a nice little child's pose. Taking a full inhale, then an exhale. Letting it feel so nice and good. Getting that nice little stretch through the spine, through the arms. Arms can be active, elbows up off the ground, or relaxed, arms touching down. So good. Taking one more nice big inhale. Exhale, maybe sigh it out. On that next exhale, start to press back into those hands. Coming up and forward and making your way down onto your back. Spinning around. Lowering it down. So good. Rolling down all the way, roll those shoulders back and down. Maybe you have your knees bent, feet planted. Take that nice inhale breath. Exhale, soften, let it go. Let's reach those arms out wide like a T. Just finishing off with a nice little twist to reset the spine. So you can just simply float the knees up and drop them down towards your favorite side. Keeping that opposite shoulder of the side you dropped your legs down. Maybe the gaze goes to the opposite of your knees. Just feeling that nice little rotation through the spine. See if you can soften. See if you can really relax here. And take one more nice big inhale. And exhale. Returning the head to neutral. I always like to start with that first, just protecting the neck. And then maybe pressing into the arms, swinging those knees all the way up. And over towards the opposite side, dropping them down. Gaze can go opposite the knees. You can bring that hand on top of the legs if you want a little extra depth, a little extra weight. You can't see it, but my dog is smiling at me with her tongue hanging out. Like she's got this big derpy face happening right now. So good. And taking that one more nice breath in. Exhale, softening. Letting everything just melt. Then returning the head to neutral. Releasing the hands, starting to swing those knees up, taking that little hug of the knees in towards the chest, or that nice little happy baby. Grabbing onto the feet. Feet go up towards the ceiling, knees draw in towards the body. So good. Here's a little freestyle moment for you if there's another pose or movement you want to get in on. Let it feel really good. If there's anything else you want in class before we finish, maybe you want a little cobbler pose. Who knows? Just play around with it. Have a little fun. If you don't want anything else, if you want more Shavasana, that is also the option. Feeling that nice connection with the breath, with the body. And start to settle in whatever your final pose looks like. Taking some time for a little restoration, a little relaxation. But sometimes this might even be the hardest part. If you have a really active mind, like there's people that even like in class like roll up their mats and ditch out on Shavasana. That's okay if that's where you're at. If you're just here for the movement, it's a great place to start. But I love that yoga can be so much more than that. That building of awareness, working with some of the mental and the emotional side of things, all happens not only during practice, but also like especially in this like little meditative state that we like to call Shavasana. And lots of times you can add some breath work and breath technique in here, just working on either deeper, fuller breaths, or there's actually a large number of breath techniques that can be added in. Maybe I'll spend a week, next week, going through just a couple of them. You can add those into your arsenal. Some of them help alleviate stress. Some of them help strengthen and engage muscles. Some of them help build heat within the body, so they're kind of fun to play around with. We can do them at different times in our practice. So speaking of the breath, let's take 3 full inhales that exhale to an audible sound, maybe side out, maybe just pick a vowel sound, maybe just release the air heavily, your choice. So take that nice big inhale breath, filling the lungs, using the diaphragm, breathing in, and exhale, let it out. So good. Take one more nice big breath in. And exhale, release. Maybe if you don't want the mouth open, you can still do an audible sound with the lips closed, making that sound. So take that nice big inhale and exhale. If you want, you can continue with those big inhales and exhales. This is where I'll leave you. You're welcome to take all the time you need in Shavasana. I will roll on up to say goodbye. So good. Thank you so much for making some time for a little yoga practice today. Yeah, it was a full class, but delightful. It is an honor and a joy of mine to be able to do yoga and to be able to share it with you. So thank you for utilizing these free videos. Always really appreciated to see that. If you have any feedbacks, comments, questions, that's what the comment section is for, which I love to get and receive and help you with your journey. So I hope that the rest of your day is filled with moments of joy. And as always, I pray that you are always blessed. Namaste. Have a beautiful day.